Hello.
Hey, Hank, it's Ryan.
Hey, Ryan. Good to hear from you.
How long have you been shaping?
Well, the first board I shaped was in 1967.
Where are you from and where's home now?
I'm from Mission Beach in San Diego.
Who's glassing your board?
Joe Roper's glass shop is my glass shop to go to. They give me the best service. There's a couple of other really good glass shops around town. Classic Glass is one that's Gordon Smith's factory, but I pretty much go 99% with Joe Roper.
How do you measure surfboard value?
I have a hard time with the value of surfboards because I still think that gasoline should be 22 cents a gallon. I like to make boards that satisfy people, get their custom numbers right. And I mean, heck, if you're making $100 an hour doing what you love, and you shouldn't be greedy. But I know that I'm probably 50%, 75% below anybody that's been almost shaping as long as I have. I just have a hard time raising the price because I think surfboards should be economical. They're not something that lasts forever. They're kind of disposable, and it's just fun building them. You can't bowl a 300 game like you can in bowling with a surfboard. It's always the next one can be better and better, and you always have something to strive for. So the value is a hard thing with me. I know I'm way underpriced.
What's the first thing you check when QCing a board?
Fine points. I look at a board, and I'm hoping that when I look at it, there's no place where my eyes stop. Everything just flows, and you don't see a point where it catches your eye and your eye stops on it, whether it's the color work or the shape job, even feeling the edges. I just want it all to flow from nose to tail, and nothing cries out that it's sticking out like a sore thumb.
Are you ordering custom blanks?
Yeah, I order all my blanks, and I get them delivered pretty much every Monday from U.S. Blanks. Every one of my blanks are ordered. They come to me with my name on them, my rocker specifications, and I do different stringer combinations depending on what style board it's going to be.
What's your PU to EPS build ratio?
Well, sometimes it flows. Sometimes it's 10 orders for all EPS, and then sometimes I don't hear about EPS for a long time, but I'd say it's probably like 1 in 25 is the EPS.
Who's been giving you feedback on boards?
Pretty much all my customers give me feedback, whether it's what they wanted. Surfing-wise, Sterling Spencer, I've been dealing with him for about 5-6 years off and on. He gives me good feedback because he's pretty savvy on what he wants. I've had lots of guys over the years that, Joe Roper himself, 35,000 boards, kind of got a good reference of what people are talking about.
How close do you keep your eye on surf contests?
Skip Fry and myself always say that, we surf for points. Malibu Point, Rincon Point, PB Point. That's the kind of points we surf for. We don't really keep track of contests, although I had surfed in club contests over the years just for kicks because it's a good way to meet people up and down the coast in California that surf in different areas.
Custom board versus stock board off the rack.
They have their place. I mean, the only problem with the stock board off the rack is the salesperson that's selling the board to the person. Is he selling it to the person because it's going to fit, or is he selling it to just get another board out their door and make a royalty off of it? Custom made is probably the best way to go almost for anybody because you can really pinpoint their needs, where they surf, and what they're trying to do.
Do you have any boards in any surf shops right now?
Yes, I do. I have a few that are people that I've dealt with since the 80s. There's a Wind and Wave Water Sports in Corpus Christi, Frank Floyd and Nate Floyd. And there's Fenwick Island in Delaware. They've been ordering boards every spring for me since the late 70s, and I really feel loyal to them. There's Interlight Surf Shops. I've been connected with before they were even started, and made lots of custom boards for those guys. And then locally, there's Pacific Beach Surf Shop. They're actually cool enough, Randy Strump, to buy boards from me and actually put them in their rental fleet. I've had people from the East Coast come out and rent a board and then go home to the East Coast and say, hey, I was riding a power hull from PB Surf Shop. I want one like that. So I really enjoy PB Surf Shop's treating of my boards and how they get them out there as rentals and then can get orders off of the try before you buy kind of thing. And then there's Witt Surf Shop that I've been dealing with, Witt Roulette up in Carlsbad. He's a small little shop around some big giant mass stock shops, and we do some good customs through him.
What do you think about board reviews on the internet?
Sometimes, who's paying the bill is, what they're pushing. But, it's always good to get information. And, I have no problem if people want to spend the time talking about different surfboards and different designs.
What's something most people don't know about Hank Warner surfboards?
Well, probably that not only do I take the orders and I shape them all up and get them to a glass shop, I actually pack them like I own them. I haven't had many, if any, over the years, complaints about getting boards damaged in the shipping because I pack them like I own them.
Who would be your stab in the darker shaper?
Bob Mitzvin does good shortboards. Probably Stu Kinson is totally credible in shortboards.
What's the craziest custom board order?
Actually, a recent one. I had a person, he told me he wanted a mini Simmons, so I assumed he was looking at a mini Simmons. But then when it came down to it was basically a square table where the nose and the tail were the same width. In the middle of the board was the square tabletop. I know Ryan Birch was able to ride a square tabletop a long time ago, about 2 feet long, but I kept sending him pictures of the outline and eventually got him to get a little bit of curve into the nose and a little bit of curve into the tail, so it wasn't a square rectangle. But that was the craziest EPS request.
You got anything new in the works?
Yeah. Sterling Spencer called me up about a month ago, a little less than a month ago, and he said he wanted to put together a board for himself. And I had made him boards in the past, and I said, well, what are you looking at? What do you want? And he sent me several different pictures of boards off of my Instagram. And it turned out what he wanted was a narrower fish nose, a nose like a San Diego fish would be, but just pulled in a little bit. And he wanted the tail double wings so you could have a wider board that was fast but still diminish the tail in the back so it would hold in good and have good pivot point. And that was the tail of my power hole. And then the bottom, he wanted it a combo of a mini Sims where it was kind of soft up front, going into extremely hard in the tail to kind of plow through the choppier surf. And, of course, everything works good in glassy waves, but when you have surfing waves that are windblown, it helps to have a little bit of softness up front. I like something that kind of keeps your speed going. He just bounces off the wave and just keeps the forward momentum going. So it's got a little bit more fullness in the nose thickness-wise, but underneath it in the nose is kind of entry concave, so it's got lift, but it still has some volume up there. It's good for paddling, good for keeping your speed going. But that's what I've been working on lately.
I like to end with some word association where I say a word or phrase, and you just say the first word or phrase that comes to mind. Hot buttered.
The Sultan of Speed.
San Diego Padres.
A hopeful fan.
Gulf Coast.
A good surfing area if you're patient.
Rusty Surfboards.
Solid.
Yancey Spencer.
Good friend. Got me started in my own company with him, HEP, Atlantic Gulf Pacific, and I miss him.
Thanks so much for your time, Hank. What's the best way to get someone on a Hank Warner board?
Well, they can either go to www.hankwarner.com, email me, phone me, text me, and we go from there.
Thank you so much again. Appreciate it.
Thanks for thinking of me.
You got it. Bye-bye.